Hello, everybody. This is your boy Ken, aka MrGentleman, and I am the host of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast. If you are enjoying this show, you can also check out the premiere Boyz podcast, hosted by myself, Aaron Keatuk Sands, the Star Rider Rod, and Long Live Chief Mighty Mal, where we discuss everything that's going on in the culture, from love, relationships, music, sex, politics, and many more. We can make you laugh, but the show could get a little raunchy, and it may not be for everybody. But if you are curious to listen to the Premier Way podcast, you can tune in to the Premier Way podcast every Wednesdays at 12 a.m. or all podcast platforms, a part of the Premier Powerverse Network. Other shows that you can check out on the Premier Powerverse Network is King Talk with Aaron Sands, hosted by Aaron King Talk Sands every Friday at 12 p.m. Star Time Podcast hosted by the Star Rider Rod every Monday at 12 p.m. And Welcome to the Trilogy hosted by Long Live the Chief Mighty Mel every Tuesday at 12 p.m. Listen and support every show in the Premier Powerverse, including this show, Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast, who is also a part of the Premier Powerverse Network. Thank you for listening to this message and check out the show. Chill! Hello, everybody. This is your boy Ken, aka MrGentleman, and I am the host of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast. And I just want to take the time and wish everybody in the Minneapolis area, keeping them in my prayers. What's going on out there right now is terrible, and killing innocent people is not okay. Arrested innocent people is not okay. What's going on in this administration, what's going on with ICE is terrible, and this is not how we should be living. So I just want to say to everybody out there, I keep it all y'all in my prayers. I pray for the family who was killed and murdered by ICE, because they should never been killed and murdered to begin with. And I keep all them in my prayers. And if you're out there protesting, please be safe. And let's just keep everybody in our prayers. And thank you. And check out the episode. You are now listening to MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast Season 10. Choo! Hello, everybody. This is your boy Ken, aka MrGentleman, one-fourth of the Premier Boyz podcast, and your host of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast. Welcome to another episode of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast. Hope all is well. And this is the season 10 premiere part 2. And thank you for tuning in to MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast for 10 seasons. You know, it really means a lot. Thank you. And if you haven't heard the season 10 premiere part 1 yet, Royal Rumble prediction episode with my bro, the Premier Boy podcast, check that out now. It just came out yesterday. To check out that episode. And on this episode, I will be discussing Face Your Fear and Go For It. And why did I name this episode that title? You just have to sit back, relax, and listen to the episode. And I'll be right back.
Hi, my name's Anastasia, and you're now listening to MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. And at the time, it's time for MrGentleman Facts quote of the day. And today's quote of the day is, when one door is closed, another one always opens. And I say this because we all have time where we lose our jobs, where we get broken up in a relationship, friendship end, and we lose opportunities. But you just always have to remind yourself that just because that chapter ended, it don't always mean that it's the end of the world. You always have to remind yourself that when one door closed, another one always open, and that opportunity is usually the better opportunity than the one you had before. And that is today, legitimate facts, quote of the day. Hello, everybody. This is your boy Ken, aka MrGentleman, and I am the host of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast. And this commercial break is brought to you by MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast. On MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast, we interview many guests about their life journey, pretty much where they come from and where they at now. Also promoting their brands or whatever they're doing at the time they come on the show. We also have the host talk about personal stories about himself and everything that he's been through. And also we have fun conversation about anything music, anything old school, relationships, wrestling, and many more. And y'all can tune in to MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast every Sundays at 12 a.m. We are also on every Thursdays at 12 a.m. for Spin-Off Series Thursdays, where we have all of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast spin-off series all in one day, where we have a conversation about music podcast every first Thursday at 12 a.m. The Old School Show with myself and the Star Roddy Rod every fourth Thursday at 12 a.m. And we have Date Night Talk Podcast with myself and Miss Vanna B every second and third Thursday at 12 a.m. And y'all can tune in to MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, The Pods, and many more. Or y'all can check it out on the official website of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast, www.realmrgentlemanlifestylepodcast.com, www.realmrgentlemanlifestylepodcast.com, and tune in every Sundays and Thursdays at 12 a.m. for MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast. Thank y'all for tuning in to this commercial break of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast. Back to your regularly scheduled program. Cheer!
My name is Jessica.
Sonia.
And I'm Dawn Marie. And we are Opinionated Lushes.
And you are listening to MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. And at this time for the main event topic. And today's topic is face your fear and go for it. And before I talk about why I named it this episode, we're going to talk about what the meaning of fear. And the meaning of fear is an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous, likely to cause pain or a threat. And the reason why I named it this episode, because I had a conversation with my therapist, and the conversation was about fear. And as me her diving into the conversation, it really made me open up the stuff that I was dealing with and stuff that I really had fear about. And she told me that even though you deal with all these things, you also learn to overcome it. And when she told me that, I just want to thank her for that, because it really helped me to dive into the things that I was fear about. And honestly, this episode is more about a message to y'all. Like, if you at a place in your life where you don't know where to go, where you either had a really bad breakup, you lost your job, lost your home, lost somebody that you really care about, or anything that you're going through and you're scared to go to the next level. Sometimes things may be hard right now, but it's something you just have to face your fear and just go for it. If you have a new opportunity that you really want to go for, just have to go out there and go for it. You just never know what that opportunity can do for your life. You never know that that next person could be better than the last person you've been with. just because you've been with a person for so long doesn't mean it's always good for you. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, facing your fear is not an easy thing. When I started doing this show, I was scared to do the show. I know I talked about this story many times, but I was scared to do this show. I managed to keep pushing the show back because I was scared about what people would think about me. I was scared because, growing up, I had speech problems. And I wasn't confident in my voice because I was bullied a lot as a kid. But as you really see something and really know that something could turn into something bigger than you, you just have to find a way to get over those fears and just go out there and do it. Because you just never know what can happen in the long run. And as long as you're taking that first step, you're already doing more than what anybody who haven't done nothing at all. So as long as you take that first step, the ride after that always gets smoother. And all these 7 years later, like I impacted a lot of people's life by doing the show. And honestly, I'm pretty much a living testimony of, somebody who's scared to do something that's now been doing it for many years and you're helping more people than if you would not be doing at all. Because honestly, if I was not doing this, then what I will be doing, how I know I'll be helping somebody. So I just want to let y'all know that no matter what you do, remember that, if you're scared to move somewhere because you're comfortable about where you're at, or scared to go to a new job because you don't think that the next job could be bigger than the job that you're at now, you have to go out there and just do it. You never know what can happen unless you just don't go out there and try. Because when you don't do something, you're just going to regret it at the end. And you're always going to wonder why I did not go this route, why I didn't take that step when I had the opportunity to take that step, why I didn't leave that person knowing he treated me bad for a very long time. You're always going to wonder why. And you should not live with regrets. So what I want to tell all y'all today is, whatever you are going through and whatever opportunity that comes your way, just go out there and do it. Because you just never know where this opportunity would change your life. It could change your life for the better. It could maybe not change your life for the worse. But as long as you took that first step and told yourself that, yes, I'm happy that I went out there and did that. And I'm happy that I didn't just said no to the opportunity and not do nothing at all. As long as you took that first step, you're doing more than what anybody else is doing. So just always remember that. And just face your fear and just go out there. Because only good news will come out of it. As long as you put God first, as long as you believe, and as long as you don't live with regrets later. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this very short episode. And thank you for always tuning in to me. It really meant a lot. Honestly, if it wasn't for y'all for tuning in to me for the last 7 years, I would never took this first step and to continue to bring people on my show in order to share their stories, or me taking that step to open up about my life to y'all. So for that, I thank y'all. It really means a lot. And I'm genuinely happy that I'm continue to do this show with y'all. Thank you, and I'll be right back. Hello, everybody. This is your boy Ken, aka MrGentleman. Now, I am the host of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast, and this commercial break is brought to you by MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast presents Spinoff Series Thursdays. And Spinoff Series Thursday is the new home for MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast Spinoff Series. that brought to you shows like A Conversation About Music Podcast, The Old School Show, and Date Night Talk Podcast. And A Conversation About Music Podcast is a music spin-off series where we talk about anything music, from the current music scene and the old school music scene, where we interview many guests that's in the music industry and artists about their music journey. We have a segment game called The Face Off, which is a versus inspired game, and we have roundtable discussion about variety of music topics. And y'all can check out A Conversation About Music Podcast every first Thursday at 12 a.m. Every first Thursday at 12 a.m. Now, the Old School Show that featured myself and the star Roddy Rod is a show where we discuss anything old school, from music, TV shows, movies, and many more. We also bring in guests to join in on the old school conversation. Y'all can check out the Old School Show with myself and the star Roddy Rod every fourth Thursday at 12 a.m. Every fourth Thursday at 12 a.m. And last but not least, we have Date Night Talk Podcast with myself and Miss Vanna B, where we talk about anything relationship related topics like love, dating, relationships, cheating, the good and the bad, and many more. And y'all can check out this spin-off series, Date Night Talk Podcast, every second and third Thursday at 12 p.m. So look out for MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast Presents Spin-off Series Thursday, A Conversation About Music Podcast every first Thursdays. The Old School Show with myself and the star Roddy Rod every fourth Thursdays, and Date Night Talk Podcast with myself and Miss Vanna B every second and third Thursdays. And y'all can check out MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast every Sundays for the main series, and every Thursday for spin-off series Thursdays. And thank y'all for checking out this commercial break. And now back to your regularly scheduled program. True. I just want to take the time to thank everybody for tuning in to this season 10 premiere part 2 of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast. Thank you for taking the time to listen to both season 10 premieres. It really means a lot. And thank you for still being here even after 10 seasons. If you want to check out MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast, you can check out MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast every Sundays for the main series, every Thursdays for spin-off series Thursdays, where we have shows like A Conversation About Music Podcast. New season later this year, every first Thursday at 12 p.m. Date Night Talk Podcast with myself and Miss Vanna B. New episodes will be returning in March, every second Thursday at 12 p.m. The Top 20 Cats That Show, the series with myself and Jalen, every third Thursday at 12 p.m. And the Old School Show with myself and the Star Writer Rod, new season later this year, and every fourth Thursday at 12 p.m. And look out for the newest spin-off series Thursday show, Date Night Talk Stories, coming soon. You can check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Good Pods, and many more. Y'all can rate the show 5-star rating on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Good Pods, and Podchases. The more y'all rate, sure more people know about MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Ken, a.k.a. MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast. Ken, a.k.a. MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast, where you can listen to all the audio version of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast. You can check out the visual version of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast called MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast TV. And you can check out MrGentleman Fact Code Today every Mondays on YouTube and other social media platforms. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Ken, aka MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast. If you want to be a guest on MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast, send me a bio about yourself and everything that you do to my email at kenypgent@gmail.com or hit me up on social media at Ken_MrGentleman. I will be Ken, KEN _Mr. MrGentleman, GENTLEMAN. We can set something up because I am still looking for guests for season 10 of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast. You can also check me out on the Premier Boyz podcast with myself, Aaron Keith Sands, the Star Writer Rod, and Long Live the Chief Mighty Mel. New episode of the Premier Boy podcast. We got a special episode of the Premier Boy podcast dropping tonight at 6 p.m. A special Grammys episode of the Premier Boy podcast tonight at 6 p.m. But you can check us out every Wednesdays at 12 p.m., a part of the Premier Powerverse Network. Other shows you can check out on the Premier Powerverse Network, King Talk with Aaron Sands, hosted by Aaron King Talk Sands. You can check out all episodes right now on all podcast platforms. And look out for his newest show, After Hours with Aaron Sands, coming real soon. You can check out all episodes of Star Time Podcast, hosted by the Star Writer Ride, on all podcast platforms. Look out for the newest. Look out for more new episodes of Welcome to the Children, hosted by Long Live Chief Mighty Mel, coming real soon. Listen and support every show in the Premier Poppers. And of course, add me on Good Pods, Ken MrGentleman. You already know Good Pod Kids. They made it independent podcasters. You see what everybody listens to. We can rate each other's shows. Then we have the charts. And at the time, we have the MrGentleman Lifestyle Achievement, where we spotlight everything MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast is doing. And of course, we had the top 100 shows. And we are number 10 on the Noble charts and number 2 on the indie charts. Well, top 100 episode, we have number 11 for the 7-year anniversary of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast on the Noble charts, and number 4 for the 7-year anniversary episode on the indie charts. For the Society and Culture, we are through number 3 on the Noble charts and number 1 on the indie charts. Personal Journal, we are through number 1. We've been number 1 for 31 days. For Self-Improvement, we are number 2 on the Noble charts and number 1 on the indie charts. For Dating, we are number 4 on the Noble charts and number 1 on the indie charts. And for Music Interview, we are still number 1. We've been number 1 for 13 days. Thank you, everybody who's been continuing to listen to MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast on Good Pods. It really means a lot. And continue to check out MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast on all podcast platforms. Really, really means a lot. And of course, check out the official website of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast, www.realmrgentlemanlifestylepodcast.com. You can check out all episodes of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast, all 267 episodes of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast. You can check out every guest who's been on MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast, all 83 guests who've been on MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast. You can check out every guest appearance that I've been doing. More guest appearance coming real soon. And check out the official merch store of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast, www.MrGentlemanLifestylePodcastStore.com, where we have shirts, hoodies, mugs, hats. We now got socks. We now got bags and many more. Support the official merch store so we can upgrade your listening experiences. And we had new design coming real soon, so look out for that. Check out the official merch store of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast, www.MrGentlemanLifestylePodcastStore.com, and check out the official website of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast, www.realmrgentlemanlifestylepodcast.com. I just want to take the time to thank everybody for tuning in to the season 10 premiere of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast. Both parts of the season 10 premiere of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast. It really means a lot. It really means a lot that y'all through here riding with me. It really means a lot. On next Sunday episode of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast, we have a returning guest coming on the show. We got Angelica from A Little Bit of Everything with me, where we're going to talk about many, many things. She will be the first guest of season 10 of MrGentleman Like That Podcast. I really love this conversation, and I can't wait for y'all to check out this episode. And thank you once again, everybody, for tuning into this latest episode of MrGentleman Like That Podcast. Have a good day or night, wherever you're listening to this episode.
This is Bonita, and you are now listening to Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast.